I'm Marcia Winbeckler, and my husband Roland and I own CakeSuppliesPlus.com. We're professional cake decorating instructors, and we've appeared on the Food Network and TLC's Ultimate Cake Off. I want to show you how to use these new Silicone Onlay molds, and they make adding some intricate designs like this Moroccan lattice, and this is a medium chevron. There's several more. I'll post a list of them on here on the video. But it makes adding these designs to a cake much simpler than it used to be in the past, where you had to kind of transfer them one by one. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to use these molds. First, you want to condition either your mold or the edible material that you're going to be using. To condition the mold, you want to sprinkle it with a little bit of cornstarch and shake off any excess, or spray it with a little bit of vegetable oil spray and wipe off the excess. You don't want too much on there, just a little bit. Or you can condition your material by spraying it with a little bit of the vegetable oil spray. And what I've got here is fondant with a little bit of gum paste mixed in the design. And I notice on the mold too that there's a flat edge. That's going to be to the bottom of your cake. And then the top gives a little lip for you to handle there. We're going to set this over the mold and kind of use the fingers to press it on there gently. You can kind of see the design coming through already. Then I want to take a rolling pin, and I'm just going to roll across the design. And the molds actually have these little ridges, and so they're self-cutting, and so it cuts the material where those come up. So once I get this roll to the right thickness here, it'll pressure onto that, and it'll cut away where we don't want it. And by the way, I rolled this to about a 32nd of an inch. It would be about on a if you have a pasta roller, it's a number 2 on my pasta roller. So pretty, about the thickness of this ridge is what you want your material. So just right along there like that, and keep rolling till you can see it's going to pull away easily. And on this particular design, you have a choice of 2 different ways that you can use it. So let me see if it peels away here. It does, so peel that away. And the 2 different ways that you can use this particular mold is you can either use the centers and peel away the lattice part, or you can take out the centers and use the lattice part. So you have a choice there of which way you want to use it. So before I take away the part that I don't want to use on my cake, I want to coat this with some edible glue, and I'm using 3 parts of corn syrup and 1 part water mixed together. And I just want to coat over the design. Make sure you get all the edges so that it sticks to your cake nicely. Then I want to take a scriber tool, and I'm going to use the lattice on this design. So I want to pull away on the center pieces first so that I have more stability on the edges than if I would take away all the outer edges. Then I would have just the lattice left there, and this gives it a little more stability for pulling these center pieces away. Okay, now I have all the center ones done. Take this one out here on the end. Now I can go along the edge and remove these. That one's being stubborn. And if you find you have a few rough edges in there, what you can do is just take a little bit of the vegetable oil spray on your fingers and go back and just kind of touch up the edges just a little bit. So I have the parts that I don't want to apply to the cake removed, and then I can go ahead and attach it to the cake. But what I want to do is kind of pull on this and make sure that it's loosened, even though I've conditioned the material or the mold. I want to make sure that it's going to pull away when it attaches to the cake. And incidentally, this is 2 times pi, the design. So for any even diametered cake, it will take multiples of this to match up. So for instance, on a 6-inch round, 2 times pi here is approximately 6.28. So it would take 3 of these to go around a 6-inch cake. And then for every 2 inches in diameter, it would be approximately 1 more of these to go around. And I will bring in my cake here. And again, I'd added the corn syrup here and the water. So I want to put this up against the side of the cake with the bottom flush with the cake board here. And this is a 4-inch high cake. So what I want to do now is kind of use my hand to get this to attach and kind of feel across where the design is and attach it firmly there. Let the corn syrup stick the design to the surface. And then I want to gently start peeling this away. Make sure it's attaching. Once you get the first part attached, the rest of it's much easier. So attach that down and then move. Start pulling the mold away. Gently, of course. And this same type of design could take hours if you were trying to do it with a wax paper transfer method or something. Try not to misshape your design as you take it away. Just adhere it to the cake surface. So here's the second piece of the Moroccan lattice design, and what I'm going to do is put the left side right next to where that started, and the left side is, you want to line up this bottom edge here with the bottom edge of your cake, and then from up above here I can see where the 2 lattice pieces join up and run into each other there. And then I just want to line up the bottom edge and make sure that I'm attaching this on the right side here. Start peeling away, get it attached, make sure it's attaching there. I'm using this on a fondant covered cake, but it can be done with on a buttercream cake too. Of course you'd be using fondant for this portion, but then that lets you do all these intricate designs with on a buttercream cake. So I'm going to add my last section here, and you can see I've got this is the second one that I did. Over here is the first one, so I'm going to line it up here and kind of eyeball it. I'm going to check from looking down from the top and see if I need to either shrink it in a little or expand it some, but you'll get pretty close, and that's what makes the job a little bit easier using these. And kind of roll it back and attach it as you go if you see it coming up at all. So then you want to attach it down firmly. So this is what it looks like when you've got the 3 pieces around this 6-inch tier put together. And you could use this same method if you wanted to make, say, a gum paste divider cage kind of thing between tiers by drawing this making it out of gum paste and then drawing it on half of a cake dummy over wax paper over the dummy, and then this laid on top of that and let it dry, and then gluing the pieces together with royal icing, and that would make a pretty effect between tiers. So you can do that with most of the lattice designs of this, and I hope you enjoyed seeing how to use the silicone onlays to make some pretty designs on your cakes.